My name is Sandra Jordan, and I'm a professor of law at the Charlotte School of Law. My co-author on our white collar crimes casebook is Kelly Strader, and he's a professor of law at Southwestern University School of Law. Kelly and I collaborated on this book, which tackles some very, very interesting topics in the ever-changing area of white collar crime. We've got a white collar crime casebook. So our book covers, it's really two sections. We've got the typical crimes that are associated with white collar and corporate crimes, such as mail fraud, securities fraud, false claims, false statements, money laundering, tax evasion, things such as that. Then we've got in the second half of the book what I would call the procedural part, which would include the grand jury, internal investigation, self-incrimination, things that have more of a procedural overtone, including sentencing and forfeitures. And so in that way, it gives a nice balance to those who want to either focus on an overview course, which many would in teaching white collar and corporate crime, but in addition, professors can adopt this book who just want to focus on the substantive area, or those who just want to focus on the procedural area. Well, I think our teacher's manual is strong in many ways. Here's one of the ways. We have the teacher's manual that's constantly updated and is available to, of course, everyone who adopts it, and we send it to proposed adopters as well. But not only do we go through each case and dissect the cases, so that a junior faculty member, maybe someone who doesn't have the years of experience or practice level or writing in the area, can actually get up to speed. Secondly, our book has a number of problems that go, in addition to our questions and thought and discussions, we have some actual problems, many of which come from real cases. And so the teacher, the professor, can look at those and use them in a variety of ways with the classroom discussion. But then further, in our teacher's manual, we give the suggested answer or analysis that we think either that came out of the case or that we think will help to generate more discussion in class. So even someone who hasn't the experience can use our book, and we do a lot of, I would say, hand-holding to help to make people comfortable with the material. Both of us come from perspectives that are really at different ends of the spectrum. I used to be a prosecutor, he used to be a defense counsel. I was an assistant U.S. attorney with the Department of Justice for many years, practicing in white-collar crime, including the Iran-Contra prosecution, and he has a tremendous background in the defense bar and the defense of white-collar crime and those accused of white-collar crime. So we blended nicely on the project, and in fact, I think that is a healthy perspective for our students, because students are in law school and they don't know what they're going to be doing, what aspect of the practice they will be called upon to address. So hearing and looking at our cases and our problems and our thought questions and being put to the test. If you were a prosecutor, what would you charge? If you were a defense attorney, how would you defend that? They're being forced to, or encouraged to think about those things from both sides, and I think that's a good thing. The material we have in our book is the kind of material that you can start with your own interests. So someone who wants to tackle mail fraud can start with mail fraud. They can then go to securities fraud, or they can start with tax evasion. In other words, each chapter is a standalone subject. Now we know the subject area of corporate and white collar crime is integrated. Everything kind of connects. But for teaching purposes, each of them can be taught standalone, and in fact, you can pick and choose. And no one can really cover the whole book in a 14-week or 15-week law school semester. So by necessity, you have to pick and choose which chapters you're going to. You can even just focus on procedure. So we've had some professors who do a seminar, and all they do is focus on procedure, or do a seminar in writing and only focus on the substantive areas. So the book can be adapted to both the large classroom, the overview class, or to a smaller seminar and a writing problem, writings or problems, and really structured in any way that the faculty member chooses. I would encourage anyone interested in using our book or even those who are currently using the book, to reach out to both Kelly and myself at the Charlotte School of Law or at Southwestern. We are, I think, very in tune with and supportive of everyone who's adopted our book and those who are thinking about it. We provide a number of things that we think will be very helpful, especially to the new professor who hasn't taught white-collar crime before.